There sure was, Jamie. This was one of the very first outdoor events that the former president has held since that assassination attempt in Pennsylvania last month. And just before the event started, the Cochise County Sheriff's Office actually put out an alert saying they were looking for a Benson man, a convicted sex offender, because he had made a threat against the former president. We just learned a short time ago after the event that man has been taken into custody. Now take a look at some video here. Snipers from the Secret Service, they kept watch over the event in cranes as Trump met with local law enforcement today and with families affected by violence by undocumented immigrants. Trump spoke for about 45 minutes, and he spent much of the time relaying graphic stories where U.S. citizens were raped, tortured, or murdered by people who were in the country illegally. Trump said the nation is experiencing a deadly plague of migrant crime by people he described as bloodthirsty.
What Biden and Kamala have done to the families here with me and so many others, thousands and thousands of others, not only killed, also really badly hurt to a point where they'll never lead a normal life again. It's shameful.
Just take my words to heart, because it's devastating to lose a child, but even more devastating when you see the pictures or you see the body and you really understand what's happened to that person.
Morin, a 37-year-old woman who was raped and murdered in Maryland last year by an undocumented immigrant. She, the mother, was one of 3 people affected by violence who spoke at the event today. And behind them, there were stacks of unused steel barriers. Trump held this event in a particular section of the border in the Coronado National Memorial, where the Biden administration paused construction on the border wall, and the barrier there is incomplete. And Trump likened that to an open border policy. If elected, Trump is promising to finish the border wall, and he's also promising to carry out what he calls the largest mass deportation effort in U.S. history. He has not offered a lot of details about that effort, and when we tried to ask him, reporters and myself tried to ask him follow-up questions on that today, he did not provide many more details, including whether undocumented children would be part of that effort. Reporting live from the border, I'm Derek Stahl for Arizona's Family.
Derek, what did Trump have to say about the economy?
Well, he had a lot to say, and he had a lot of criticism for the Biden-Harris administration. But in particular, he talked a lot about a report out yesterday by the Labor Department, which revised down the annual jobs total down by about 800,000 jobs. And Trump is calling that evidence of fraud. He said it only came out because a whistleblower came forward. However, we should note this is not uncommon. The Labor Department revises its job stats down all the time. In fact, during the Trump administration, the numbers were revised down by about 500,000 jobs, Jamie, so it's not unusual.
Derek, thank you.
All right, meanwhile, Senator Mark Kelly criticized former President Trump's visit to the southern border, calling the trip a photo op. Kelly brought up the bipartisan border bill that he worked on earlier this year, blaming Trump for its failure.
He told Senate Republicans that they were not allowed to vote for this. And they didn't walk away from this legislation. They woke up one morning because of what Donald Trump said, they ran away from it.
Senator Kelly believes if Kamala Harris is elected president, that Congress will have a much stronger chance of passing strong border legislation.